As of the writing of this video, the first snapshot for the all-new dappled forest biome has just arrived, and I have to say, this biome is absolutely beautiful. But I do have my concerns. Minecraft has been making a lot of new biomes recently that are pretty hard to find in-game by just exploring. Mangrove Swamp only generates in very specific climate values, Cherry Grove is an elusive plateau biome, and Pale Garden has both of those issues, making it the fourth rarest biome in the whole game at only 1 in 600 odds to generate at a random coordinate. After seeing the previews for the biome, I must admit, I was a little scared that this biome might just be a fleeting occurrence in the world. Today, I'll be breaking down how the new dappled forest generates, and by the end of this video, you'll know just how common or rare it is and how to find it in your newest worlds. First, we need to understand how Minecraft biomes generate. There are 5 climate noise maps that determine biome placements, and all of them shape the world in different ways. I'll go through them one by one with you all and explain how they affect the dappled forest. Continentalness is the noise map that controls the shape of both land and ocean. At a value of negative 0.19, the noise map stops making oceanic biomes and starts making land. Continentalness affects the dappled forest in about the way you would expect. The biome can only generate on land above values of negative 0.19, putting it on even footing with most of the other land biomes. Erosion is the next noise map to consider. Erosion will form the gradients between mountainous areas, down to flat ground, and finally to swamps. Erosion can form some truly beautiful terrain, from towering mountains at low values to insane, chaotic terrain on the higher ends. So where does dappled forest fall in this range? Luckily for fans of picturesque landscapes, dappled forest is pretty much untouched by erosion. It'll generate on cliffsides, on the slopes of mountains, in towering pillars of windswept terrain, and everywhere in between, meaning that it can form a variety of beautiful terrain. So far, everything seems to be pointing toward dappled forest being a common sight in your worlds, but not so fast. We still have 3 more noise maps to get to. Next up is temperature, the noise map which creates gradients between hot and cold biomes. Low values will make freezing tundras, and high values will make scorching deserts and badlands. So, what values make a dappled forest? Dappled forest gets placed in the cold climate zone, which is a good choice by Mojang, as the cold zone doesn't have many unique biomes compared to the other 4 temperature zones. This means dappled forest will generate in the same temperature regions as biomes like cold oceans, taigas, and old growth taigas, and it will generate very far away from biomes like jungles and deserts. But to take a closer look at where it will generate in comparison to its temperature neighbors, we will have to go to our next noise map, humidity. Humidity is a bit of an odd noise map. It doesn't map very well to real-world gradients, and is mostly used by Mojang in one of 2 ways. The first is to make distinctions between more heavily vegetated areas versus more sparse ones. In high humidity, you can find biomes like dark forests and jungles, and in low humidity, biomes like plains and meadows are common. But this isn't a one-to-one distinction. On the low end of humidity, where plains generate, going lower can sometimes increase vegetation. Flower forests only generate at the very lowest humidity values. This is where the second use Mojang has for humidity comes in, making biomes rarer. Putting biomes at the highest or lowest ends of humidity will ensure that they are much rarer than the rest, as extreme noise values are much more rare than moderate ones. This is how Mojang is able to make biomes like ice spikes and eroded badlands fit in with the biomes they generate with, while also making them rare. With all of this said, where does the dappled forest fall? Dappled forests generate in the very lowest humidity zone, H0. This means it will generate near biomes like ice spikes, flower forest, and sunflower plains, and makes it quite a bit rarer than biomes that generate with mid-level humidity, like forests or taigas. Notably, this also means the dappled forest won't ever generate next to a taiga or a normal forest. There has to be a buffer plains in between a dappled forest and a normal forest. Weirdness is the last noise map, and it controls the rivers and valleys of a world. Values near 0 become rivers, while higher and lower values both generate peaks and plateaus. Mojang uses weirdness with biomes for a few things, such as ensuring mountain biomes don't touch rivers. Mojang also uses weirdness like humidity to increase rarity, and that is what they've done with the dappled forest. The biome only generates in positive weirdness, meaning only one side of a river will ever have the biome. This is akin to how weirdness affects biomes like bamboo jungle and sunflower plains. It makes them rarer while still making that rarity feel natural. So, with all of that said, where will the dappled forest slot itself into a world, and how rare is the biome? Dappled forest will typically be surrounded mostly by plains, sunflower plains, flower forest, ice spikes, and cold ocean. And if you're lucky, you could catch it near some cherry groves, meadows, mountains, and swamps. If you're looking for it near jungles or deserts, you need to turn around and head somewhere cooler, and if you're looking for it near a taiga or forest, you should head towards the nearest plains for a chance to find it. It'll generate just fine near mountains, flat ground, and swamps, and distance from the coast won't affect its generation. Additionally, it will always replace plains between versions, so if you're resetting chunks in your world to find it, keep in mind that only plains will ever turn into dappled forests. All of these climate types together classify it as a middle biome, which should generate in a wide variety of terrain. Keep an eye out near shattered terrain, mountains, and cliffsides, as you might find something truly beautiful there. I'd like to add that, even before the snapshot was released, a lot of seed finders were already able to get quite a bit of information out of the screenshots Mojang provided. Estradaing, in particular, a good friend of mine, was able to suss out quite a bit of information from the limited footage provided. This includes spotting that a cold chicken was seen in the biome, which allowed her to figure out that the biome likely generated in the cold temperature zone, which is a wild find. Many of our other suspicions, like the biome generating in low humidity and being limited to only one half of weirdness, were confirmed on release. Being able to figure out where you are and where other biomes around you should be, just from the surroundings you can see in a few screenshots, just goes to show how useful knowing these climate rules can be for navigating new and unknown areas in your world. Now, to some of you, that may have all just sounded like nonsense, which is fair. If you want to know how rare the biome actually is, the raw numbers, the distribution of it across the world, you're in luck. I made a program specifically to search for the dappled forest climate conditions and tell me the rarity of the biome. Using the knowledge that any dappled forest in the new drop would have to replace plains from the previous update, I counted all instances where plains had the climate conditions that would turn it into dappled forest in this next drop. What I found is that for a random coordinate in a random world, there's about a 1 in 227 chance for it to be a dappled forest. This makes it quite rare, at the 16th rarest biome in the game, close in rarity to biomes like mangrove swamp, bamboo jungle, and eroded badlands. This means you may need to go on a bit of a journey to get to it, but spawning right next to it in a new world wouldn't be unheard of. It isn't quite as rare as something like the Mushroom Island, but it definitely won't be an everyday sight in your explorations. All in all, I think Mojang absolutely cooked with this biome's placement, as well as its rarity. The lower humidity areas in the cold climate zone were really barren, and it's nice to see such a beautiful biome spawn there, with a new wood type to boot. It's just rare enough to justify such a sharp and striking color change from the surroundings, but not so rare that it'll feel like searching for it is an endless task. The fact that it can also spawn on mountains and windswept terrain really delights me. Overall, I think the biome is absolutely stunning, and I really can't wait for the next drop to come out so that I can find it in-game. Before I head out, a disclaimer. These are still just snapshots, and the biome generation could change before the drop is released. I don't think it's very likely to do so, considering that it fits in perfectly with the biomes around it, but if it does change, I'll make sure to update you all with a new video. And for those wondering what upcoming videos will hold, I'll be releasing a new poll tomorrow to decide the next video's topic. So if you have anything you'd love to hear me talk about, let me know down below. If you want more people to see seed finding videos like these, YouTube on mobile has a new hype feature that makes the algorithm really happy. So if you're on mobile, consider hyping this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more seed finding videos. Goodbye, and may you have a wonderful day.